fast flashing images that may affect viewers who are susceptible to photosensitive epilepsy and other photosensitivities. Viewer discretion is advised.
Today, the competition continues and only 4 teams remain. The playoffs are here, and Sunday's grand final is fast approaching. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Day 6, for those of you who don't know Spanish, of Masters coming at you from the UOB live here in Bangkok, Thailand. I'm Golden Boy here with my co-pilots, people I love working the desk with. We got Kukuka and Mimi here today, and feels like we're right back where we started at Champs last year. So it's good to be back with you guys.
Yeah, exactly. It's been a while. You've missed some actions, but we got the best of the best waiting for you, Alex.
It was great to just sit on my couch, watch the games, chill out, you know, have a cool bevy or two. It was a vibe. Mimi, it's nice to see you, though.
Yeah, same to you. Things are heating up now. I was down in... We're on like the 6th floor of a mall in the venue. First floor, they had like a whole night market thing with a bunch of Valorant themed activations, which is pretty cool. And now we've got some of the best games to come. It's very exciting stuff.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on here in Bangkok, Thailand. If you have not had a chance to come out to an international event, by the way, you probably should. Because it's really fun. There's a lot of things that you can do here, and I'm sure we'll show them to you throughout the weekend. But let's go ahead though and recap what we saw the previous week, because we had the Swiss stage and we had 2 elimination matches as well. Let's talk about day 5, all the things that went down. T1 and DRX, as well as G2 and Team Liquid.
This is a huge disappointment for DRX. I think it's not a big ask to say that they kind of choked this game. They looked shaky in their match. They were making individual mistakes. They were missing trips. And while all that was going on, T1 leveled up, played with the utmost confidence, played together, and are somehow in the playoffs.
Absolutely, as you're saying, with a lot of confidence. And then on the second part, we had G2 versus Team Liquid. I know that it was a while ago, but we saw a little bit more of the G2 that we were expecting to see in the tournament. It was a much more evened out match, but in the end, they made it to the
Listen, I'm a G2 stan, so your boy was...
You've literally predded them like every game they've played, I think, for the last 2 years.
And baby, it ain't gonna change.
He's been right for the entire year so far.
I will tell you this much, though. I was sweating bullets, and I sweat normally, so you know it was like really crazy. G2, you're giving me a couple heart attacks over here. Let's take a look at the bracket and see what we got in store for us in this double elimination bracket. It's very important to note here as we have our final 4 teams. The losers of these games are not out of the competition yet. They have another opportunity to punch their ticket to the grand finals, but these are going to be the matchups on the docket today. You couldn't ask for a better showing of international talent across all 4 regions in our sport. EDG, T1, and then on the other side you have Vitality versus G2. Yes!
Yeah, I mean, there's no other way to say it. It's cool how, what, 5 years into this game, we still have such regional parity where 4 teams are in the top 4. They're all from a different international
identities.
league.
It's like a freaking anime come to life. It's so cool.
But there's also been some evolving, right? Like at some point, China was not making it out of groups, and now they're on top. Like it's so good to see. It doesn't matter where you come from, you're gonna have someone to support.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. But you know, let's actually. I think you have a game that you want to play.
Yes,
right?
so since you weren't here, Alex, and I did not want you to miss out on the fun, I actually wanted to test you a little bit. You said that you've been sweating bullets, right? So you've been watching, and
that means you're very up to date and knowledgeable, and you're gonna crush this quiz, right?
Yes,
oh,
exactly.
guys, I'm gonna be so good. Yep.
We have a small quiz. It's a segment that we've done in the past. It is time for 2 truths and 1 lie. I'm gonna give you guys 3 categories, right? Within those categories, there will be 3 statements, and one of them will be an absolute lie. If you're watching from home, if you're watch partying, please play along and let's see if you can win this game. Nobody has ever won. This time, I've been a little bit more benevolent. No, the maximum that somebody has gotten is 1 right, and I think it was you.
Well, I'm the greatest of all time.
I make them a little bit tricky, but it's good because it gives us some context, and I think it's a fun way to do a recap. So if we bring up the categories, please. Alex, I'm going to let you choose first. We have wise investing. That agent is OP, and I want that bracelet.
Let's do that agent is OP.
Okay, that agent is OP. Okay, let's see.
I'm excited.
The first statement is every single initiator has been played already. Okay, think of it, Mimi. The second one, Killjoy, has only been picked once in the entire tournament.
Okay.
And for the last one, we have every team has played Tejo in at least one map.
All 8 teams in the tournament or every team left?
All the this is a recap from
Okay,
our group, so
okay.
every single team. So. Okay, Alex, you
Grace
go
played
first.
Tejo.
Mimi, take it.
Chat, I'm gonna keep a buck
Which
50
one
with
is the
y'all.
lie?
I'm just sitting, watching, having some water. You know what I mean? I'm just chilling. I'm not tracking this stuff. Okay,
Like
I will say the lie is probably going to be that Killjoy has only been picked once in this tournament.
Okay, you go for number 2. Mimi, what do you go for?
Oh, I think that one might be true. I think there might have been a team who did. No, number 2. I'm locking number 2.
You
All right.
both log number 2. And Mimi, you are so close to choosing the lie.
Was
because
3
Trace
Oh,
did
no.
not play
I thought
Tejo.
Trace-
I had it.
They were
I
the only ones that
Oh.
did not play the Tejo.
In my mind, I was like so disappointed they didn't change any comps. But because I think that they did play Teo on a map in China, but they didn't play the map here, and that's what tricked me. Okay, that was a tough
yeah.
one.
Tracer, a couple
It was a tough one,
traitors.
but it's good to see that we have had, and I would say, like, I'm not sure if it's for the first time, but every initiator has been played, and not every duel is not. So it's the only category
Also, crazy
that has been.
Killjoy's only even played once.
Exactly.
And
I would
Killjoy
say-
was so prevalent in the meta for so long.
And it was Meteor.
And then they launched an agent that destroys her all.
And there you go.
So into that, Mimi, please choose the next category. You have Wise Investing, and I want that bracelet.
Wise investing.
She's a capitalist for sure.
Wise
I
Investing, not surprised at all. Okay, let's bring up the statements. First one, Sentinels did not win a single anti-eco. I think it's eco. I'm going to say it's eco.
Anteco. We'll call it like
Anti-eco,
that too.
eco.
I know. Okay.
Okay, second one, Buzz has played the most rounds with operators so far
No way.
out of all the players. Played a lot. Vitality currently has the highest bonus conversion.
I believe the third one.
I believe the third one, and I honestly believe the first one.
Okay.
So,
I think that's a typo, and it might have been on my end, and I am so sorry because I
It's
did this
supposed
at
to
8
say
a.m.
Eco, not
Eco,
anti.
eco.
Eco.
Okay. Not win a single eco.
I'm
so sorry,
going
that's on me.
number 2. I think it has to be Durka with the most op purchases.
Okay, you
yeah,
go for
I would
number
imagine
2.
because I remember seeing every round Durka had the op. So I'm going to go number 2.
And you're both correct.
Yes! Oh,
I'm gonna
look at
say
it.
you are both
Woo!
correct, but you got that wrong. Derke was not the one. It was actually Kang Kang. who
Kang
played.
Kang, ah.
Actually, the difference is about 2 rounds. But
I
yeah,
thought
Sentinels did not win a single
I thought
eco.
because of his neon maps, he wouldn't have as much off play.
I like how you guys are having this great conversation, and I'm out here doing freaking Ric Flair emotes and stuff
Okay,
like that. Great.
while we do that, let's go for I want that bracelet. As everybody knows, at the end of this tournament, we will have an MVP bracelet.
Ooh.
So first statement, Trex has won every clutch he's been a part of.
Okay, somewhat believable.
That is quite believable.
G2 has the highest
That is true.
KD so far.
That is 100%.
I know
a
he's
hell of
the
a
top
player.
rated player, and I think he has the top ACS, but that might be a trick
He's
question.
having a god tournament. I think he is the top. Damn,
Okay,
now you're,
but let's
now
see,
you
let's see
got
the
me in
last
my
one.
head,
Let's see the
dog.
last one. Maybe the last one gives you some light. And Sylvan is currently leading in assists per
Okay,
round.
I actually think that could be true because controller assists are so fraudulent.
That's very true. It's very true.
And he's played the very few matches.
Mm-hmm.
I think that this is a trick question, and it's number 2. Despite Chichu
Okay.
being the
I
best
am
player
gonna-
thus far, I think
I
it's
like
a
the way-
trap.
I'm gonna split the. I'm gonna go number 1.
You're going to go number 1, and in fact, you're going to be right because Trex has not won a single clutch he's been part of. And it's surprising because he's been playing so far so well. But yeah, Chichu's currently
I
leading
like
KD. My man's insane. And as you're saying,
Yeah.
getting assists with the smokers is very easy.
I like that you said you were being benevolent, and then you have a lineup for a fake trick question and all this niche stuff. It was a good game though.
That was good.
This wasn't that niche. Like I've gone deeper in the dungeon, but you actually played very well.
Look, I'm not gonna front. I don't know. Hey, chat. I hope you guys have fun. But real talk, I had a blast. So that was great, and I'm the winner. Yay me. In any case, though, look, folks, you can yap with us using the hashtag VALORANT Masters as well as VCT, so we can feature the good stuff on the broadcast, and I mean only the good stuff. Okay, don't give us that garbage. Those garbage social media posts. Send us
Give
the
us
good.
some K-pop edits, I think.
That's your choice?
Yeah,
Do
it is what it is.
I actually like that. Send us some good K-pop edits. I'm down with that one. I'm sure it'll piss off a couple people. All right, now, of course, well, you got your phone out. all right, why don't you go ahead and take part in today's MasterCard fan poll? Because we want to know who is the best Yoru player left at Masters Bangkok in your opinion. Is it Durka? Is it Izu? Is it Kong? Or is it Jogamo? Scan the QR code to cast your vote. Of course, we'll have the results in just a little bit. What do you guys think? Who do you
That
think
one's actually really tough. Like, my recency bias brain, because Valorant goes Izu. His last game was so good.
Yeah.
I think Jaw had some really great moments as well. It's interesting, we haven't seen a ton of Yoru from Durka, but I know it's amazing from EMEA.
I'm absolutely biased. I don't even have this. I would say that Kankan is also in the run because to me, coming into the event, using the time that you had off to actually master an agent and put it into
It's
globally
very based.
Yeah.
against the names that we are saying, against the experience that some other people have in the agent, and having the performance he's having with that much comfortability, I think that Kankan, might win it all again.
I'm just depressed Hyunmin is in an answer. He was so good for DRX all group stage.
Yeah, well, let's actually talk about one of those Yoru players. We got Izu here, and of course, in our first matchup today, we got to see plenty of Yoru in this competition. It has been really fun, and we got to see it specifically, Mimi, against DRX.
Yeah, and he hit a fake clone on them for the first time at a global tournament.
Oh, is that the same move that Durka pulled off on Haven?
Yes.
Okay.
First time in an IL during EMEA, and then Izu pulled it out here on Pearl, and he was just putting up a masterclass on this map. The B hits with him teleporting into backside looked on point throughout this one. He had really good set ideas off the ult. I was so impressed with Izu.
And to me, it's not only the fact that, we saw him in the Euro and playing like that. When he's been on the Cypher in any of the 3-side maps that we have, he's been also very impressive. When he's been on the Tejo, he's also been... So he's like playing on 3 different roles, but that have some similarities. Well, not really with the
I mean, they're like,
Cypher,
it's weird because they are so different, right?
Yes.
You're going from Yoru 1 map, one of the most like active macro agents, to then hunkering down a site on Cypher, and then you're switching it over to an initiator.
That shows some incredible range from Izu, without a doubt. But let's actually go ahead and hear from him. He had an opportunity to speak with Jen Lee ahead of today's matchup.
Izu. Now, Izu, this is your first time going up against EDG. Now, they're the defending champions. What do you think it will take to beat this team with so much experience?
저희 팀에 중국 팀한테 지지 않는 선수들이 많이 모여 있다고 생각해서 저희 팀도 저희 T1도 중국 팀에게 지지 않는다는 것을 오늘 증명해내겠습니다.
Well, our org, we have a lot of players who never lose to CN teams, so Valorant itself, again, will prove that T1 just never lose to CN teams. A little bit of League of Legends reference coming from a guy that wants to be the faker of Valorant.
I love Jen. I just love Jen.
There was some editorial there at the end.
I think that we should do a show where it's just Jen. Jen does everything.
I'm down
Jen
to
does the dance,
send
the
Jen out in the world and
yes.
see her discover things.
I thought he
I'm
wanted
down
to be
with
the Locky of Valorant, but I guess I'm wrong there.
that ship has sailed, maybe. Of course, he got T1 coming into this one as the underdog against the defending champions, the world beaters of EDG. But the thing is that we saw T1 manage to take down really, a monkey on their shoulder has been there for a real long time, the Goliath of DRX.
Yeah, absolutely. Izu said he wants to be the best, but for T1, this is already history. It's the first time that they make it out of groups. They're the only seed 2 that actually managed to make it, and they made it winning over DRX.
And the way they did it was so impressive as well. That was, frankly, a dominant game out of Team 1. I thought the team fighting looked really good. They were dominant. Map 1, I think 19-5 in opening kills to opening deaths.
Yeah.
Did such a good job of isolating DRX players, resetting the rounds, going into these late hits. Just everything was flowing for T1. And now they're the only team that people didn't expect to be in the playoffs that have made it here.
Yeah, and an unknown quantity could end up being, like really fruitful for them in the long run, right? Because, hey, if you are kind of playing with house money, see how long you could possibly go. It also helps, too, when you have a guy on the field who's absolutely popping off and giving you that motivation every single time you do something awesome. Of course, I'm talking about Buzz, the key hype man. Let's check this out.
Nice! Let's go, boys! Nice! What's up, guys? Who's the best team in Korea now? Come on! 물어, 찔 물어. Nice!
How do I get him on my team, bro, so he can hype me up?
Do you know when you're playing Monopoly and someone on your team is like, imagine that you're doing it in pairs, right? And someone is like taking it super seriously.
Yes.
You can see that everybody else in T1 is like celebrating, happy, just laughing. He's serious.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
he stands up, he means no joke.
It had to feel good for Buzz and Stacks, though, taking down their former team. T1 going into that match was 0-7 as an organization against DRX.
Wow.
And now they have their first ever win when it mattered most. And that's got to feel good, too, for Meteor, who's a guy trying to get a second title, GB.
Yeah, this is a guy with the Gen G squad last year that saw a lot of success, but this is a situation he's found himself in before, kind of being in that underdog spot, you know, in the past. So this isn't foreign to him, but it's still going to be a challenge because, Kakuka, you're going up against EDG, a team that is so well drilled.
Absolutely, but I think he's ramping up. Like, the more I see of him, the more that I like. He is the one that has played the one Killjoy that we've seen so far, but I absolutely love him in the Vice, especially in maps like Fracture. I think he's so absolutely versatile that it can be definitely game-changing. And just look at the stats he has so far.
Yeah, I was talking to the Pacific casters, and after watching him at home, I think they had a pretty negative perception of him on the Vice, but I think he really turned that narrative around in these last few games for T1. He did such a good job in the series against DRX as that hard anchor, locking things down on the Vice, constantly changing the way he was playing around his setups on the attack side, using his util to lock down post plants really well too. DRX could not get through the door on their retakes, and you have to credit a lot of that to this guy, Meteor, who's trying to not just be the one who got the first trophy for Asia, but to do it again on a completely different Korean team.
Yeah, how incredible would that be if T1 is able to make it to the final? If T1's even able to make it to, against EDG here and then have that opportunity would be unreal. But of course, we have, interesting compositions, and what I've loved has been seeing this Neon in play, just because it's so dynamic, so fast-paced, and it really throws off all these players.
And we had a lot of Neon last year, and probably
Neon,
coming into this tournament, we thought that the pick rate was going to go down, which it has, but seeing teams like EDG completely steer away from it, but leaving it in one map, and seeing it being so absolutely well played, and then seeing a team like T1 using the double duelist in the way that they do, it suits them so well, and it's definitely still comes off as a surprise. And I think that especially on a global stage, playing the Neon still gives you that edge, because still everything happens way too fast.
Yeah.
Teams in the West almost completely wrote Neon off after her big nerfs at the end of last year, but the teams from China, the teams in Pacific, have still been dabbling in this agent, and I think we've seen thus far the squad's willing to play the offbeat stuff, to be really explosive, get in people's faces, is really effective, especially when it's a meta where you're seeing a lot of Breach, Teo, iPad baby kind of stuff going on. Push the pace, run at them. It's working so well for both these teams, and it's cool to see those unique styles now in the playoffs.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. Of course, one of those players that always brings that style, of course, it's Konkon. Now, he scored the MVP bracelet at Champions last year, and he's in the running to do it again here in Bangkok. Now, Yinsu sat down with EDG Superstar before Masters to talk about the award and much more.
It is an absolute honor for me to welcome back the 2024 Champs winner MVP Konkon. Welcome back, and I've got Luna here to do some translation as well. Now, I wanted to ask you a little bit about your life since winning that MVP. So I'll just start with, has anything changed? Because I've been following your journey on social media. You know, when you go to a concert, there's so many fans there, they love you. So what's it like been for you since winning the MVP?
就改变可能就是走在大街上，更多的人能够认出来我，然后跟我拍照，然后我也就其实还挺害羞的，因为觉得突然一瞬间那么多人能够认识到我，能够看到我在赛场，给他们传递能量吧，我觉得。
I mean, walking on the street, a lot of people gonna recognize me, taking photo with me, and I feel like there are more people gonna see me on the stage and feel my energy. I think this is the biggest change.
What does it mean to you to, win that award, first of all? Of course, the bracelet, I'm going to ask you about whether you've won it also. What does it mean to you to come into this tournament, know that you are the best player right now, and everybody might be looking at you thinking, we got to take him down?
我觉得赢下拿到 MVP 手链对于我来说的意义就是我还能再拿一个，或者我还能再拿更多的 MVP 手链。然后其实这一次如果真的能拿到 MVP 的话，可能对于我来说就是更多的一个认可吧，因为我认为我可能还不是世界最好的那个选手，但是我很感谢大家能够 把我跟那些世界上那么多很厉害的选手排在一列，然后去竞争那个位置。所以说，我觉得希望我能够继续在那个队列里面跟他们去竞争吧。我认为。
I already got one. Seems like for me, that's the meaning. Is like I can got another one. I can have more, and also even I might not be the best player in the world, but people just put me on the list to compete with the rest of best players in the world. I think this is quite accomplishment for me.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, you will have an opportunity. We will have another MVP bracelet for this event as well. Are there any players you feel like could be competing against you for that? Anyone else that you feel like has the similar, I guess, abilities to get MVP?
那你觉得有跟你同样有能力去竞争这个手链的选手，觉得有谁呢？
Dirk.
Durka?
Yeah, Dirk.
Okay. I don't know if he's into bracelets, but I have to ask him. But have you worn yours? Where is it right now? Did you bring it to this event?
我并没有带来，然后其实是因为我妈妈觉得这种东西就应该在家里面放在保险柜里面藏好，然后拿给她的孙子戴。
I didn't bring it to Bangkok because my mom feels like you need security for that. You need to like hide it and give it to your grandson or something like
Pass
that.
it on to your children, I guess.
Yeah.
And the last question before I let you go, we talked a little bit about what it was like for your life outside of the game since winning MVP. Has it changed anything for you in the game? Is it easy to still be as motivated as you were before?
其实对于我来说，游戏当中只是更多的自信吧，就是它能够给我带来更多的自信的来源，然后让我在做一件事情的时候能够更坚定自己，然后更认可自己，去不犹豫的去做一些选择。
Feels like when in the game, I'm being more calm, no hesitation, trust me myself in the game more.
It's confidence, right? Confidence. Thank you very much, Hong, for joining me, and thank you, Luna. Let's see if he can indeed bring home another bracelet for your son, for your grandson.
Or if there's one thing that we know about this EDG squad, it is they are filled with confidence, Kukuka.
Yep.
And they have found themselves in a great position here to get back-to-back trophies here in Bangkok.
Absolutely, and probably many people thought that just because the way that they were playing and maybe staying a little bit behind on the meta in China, that we would see internationally or globally a different EDG, one that was going to be, again, still a little bit stuck, but the way that they have adapted through everything, the way that they feel so comfortable on the stage, they are here to do it all again. I do not think that you can spot like a clear weakness that you can exploit, because everything that you have prepped actually didn't come to fruition, and every single time they're on the server, there's no nerfs, only W.
Yeah, they are an unbelievable team, and T1 is going to have their hands filled, without a doubt. But for more on EDG, here's what Chichu had to say when he had an opportunity to speak with Jen Lee.
Hey guys, Jen Lee here with Chichu and Luna for translation. Now Chichu, you guys are facing T1 today. They knocked out Trace Esports, your fellow Chinese team. So what is the mindset coming into today? Revenge? Domination?
那其实今天要对战的 T1， 他们淘汰了 TE， 咱们 CN 赛区的兄弟队伍嘛。那对于今天的比赛有什么样的一个状态和想法呢？会不会觉得是一场复仇之战？
我觉得首先我们上一次送 T1 回家的是我们嘛，我觉得也别忘了，真正说要送 T1 回家的，明天回家的是 EDG， 今天我们就是来送他们回家的，送他们下去淘汰，送他们下去败德组的。
Like last time, it was EDG who sent T1 home, and now it's time for EDG today. Like we are sent him to the lower bracket this time.
I remember that. That was all the way back in Masters Tokyo. Will history repeat itself? We just gotta see.
Well, that's right, Jen. We just got to see. Now, we've seen, though, Chitu make some dominating plays here at Global. And honestly, guys, he really is having a live tournament right now. This guy is playing unbelievable. He's always been good, but to see him really go this far has been really exceptional.
He was their clear second best player at Champions when they went on their run to win. But thus far at Masters Bangkok, he's not just been a top performer, but he's been looking like the best individual player at the event. He has been so consistently impactful across every game that EDG has played. He's looked absolutely on point when anchoring on the defensive side, has had huge lurks and clutches on the attack side as well. He's just doing it all for EDG. And they still have Kong Kong in reserve.
Yeah, a KDA of 2.1. And I think
Nuts.
that in the past, we have seen many players have a brilliant performance in one tournament and then for the next one, not having the same kind of impact, or maybe getting a little bit too comfortable. Even when the meta changes, for them to be effective for Chichu is nothing like that. Absolutely not. He is probably, as we're saying, even up there with Kankan. You will not tell. Sometimes when you were watching EDG, it's like, oh, Kankan's still alive, Final Boss still alive, and now they have 5.
If the tournament ended today and EDG was the winner, I think it would be Chichu walking away with the MVP bracelet, not Kong Kong.
For his
That's a good
grandson
note.
this time.
Yes.
For his grandson, that most importantly there. All right, well, let's go ahead and hear from Smoggy, who explains what makes this EDG roster so strong in this Omen player moment.
大家好，我是 EDG 的 Smoggy。今天和 GTO 打比赛真是打爽了，整个我们的团队都打爽了。就是我们图一的时候，我们有几个人，包括我吧，就是状态还没有完全打开。然后到了图2，甚至到图3以后，我们完全开启了那种战斗状态，然后我们就会游戏内会一直很嗨。
Trying to be bold about it. Chichu, the first contact made. Jorgamo clears. Jonah P putting it all down to Smoggy.
我觉得为什么是我们最强大的原因，是因为我们5个人都是一条心，包括教练组，包括经理，包括赛训，都是一条心的去为了那个目标而去努力。我觉得如果我们5个人状态都在线的话，应该是最强的队伍。很感谢大家支持 EDG， 也支持 VCT， 也支持整个 VCT 的赛事吧。然后我们以后也会越来越好，越来越努力。谢谢你们的支持，这仅仅只是个开始。
Crazy to think, only the beginning is what Smoggy says. They've won a championship, a world championship.
Yeah, because their goal is not just to get that championship and be like, oh, we were the best. No, they want to build a legacy. They want to build a dynasty. They want to prove that it was not a one-time fluke.
They also almost went the way of the other championship teams. Remember, no team that won champs has ever made the next international event after that in Valorant history. EDG is the first team to do that. And now not only have they re-qualified with the same 5 players, but they could go back-to-back, win a Masters trophy and the Champions trophy twice in a row for the same organization. That's never been done.
They're one of the favorites to win it.
Yes.
Which is crazy, man. But of course, it's time for the results of our MasterCard fan poll. Earlier, we asked you lovely people who you thought was best Yoru left at Masters Bangkok. The results are in. Survey says Durka, which
and you are right.
You will probably be right. Yes.
No. Listen to me. Kangkang's going to see this, and today we're gonna see it again. And just because it's that recency bias, they're gonna think, oh, we trolled, guys. We trolled.
Do you agree, Mimi, with the community that Durka's the #1?
Yeah, but I think Jojima 13% is some devious work from the community.
That's offensive.
I think it might be time to bring back the good old "It's 3 a.m. in America" quote on the poll.
You told me you moved away from it. Are you back?
And I'm back.
Okay.
She's back, baby. She's back in it. All right. Well, let's see what our talent thought about today's matchups, where the chips are going to fall. I'm just going to save everyone the time I picked G2. But, yeah, here you go. And we all kind of... Wait a minute. Achilleos and Mika went for T1 as
And
well as
Clint.
Paper Thin.
Yeah, so surprised.
Our
Who would've
Pacific
guessed?
talent went for T1. But honestly, they kind of... I don't know. Maybe they might know something that...
I think that depends on
Bren?
the beat of... Yeah, sorry.
Oh, sorry, I'm just looking at the devious scoreline for me and Bren on the predictions thus far. 3 and 7 and 4 and 6 respectively. We're sharing the same preds today,
Damn.
so that means
I'm
EDG
holding
and
donuts.
G2 are losing. I'm sorry.
I'm holding donuts out there,
Yeah.
you know. I had contemplated being on my sofa, and I was actually gonna submit my predictions at home, but I was like, they're not gonna put it in the graphics. There's no point. I should have done it. Damn it. In any case, so you guys excited for today?
Yeah,
So excited.
absolutely. I think that both of the matches, we have this narratives of every team from one of each of the regions. I really think that we're going to get some top tier and very evened out matches.
Yeah, we've already had a big upset coming in from T1. It would take another today to take down EDG, but you can't count them out completely here. So should be an exciting one there.
Do you want to give the odds? What would the odds be here? Like, what do you think?
It is a Balla TW guarantee. 60-40 EDG.
60-40?
Yeah.
60-40? I think I'm more... I would have said 35, but I'm not mad at
No,
the 40.
no. The Bala guarantee is 60-40.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the Bala
Bala said
TW
it?
That's the
Okay,
lowest
then
I can go.
if Bala
Yeah.
said it, I'm never going to go
But
against anything
it's
the
the
Bala
Bala
said.
TW guarantee, you know? He guarantees 64.
The other game, though, literally feels like a 50-50 to me.
Yeah.
It's going to come down to individual form, to what maps we play. But both G2 and Vitality looked absolutely peak in their last game. So, I mean, that could
Not
have been
according to her.
I'm just going to say, Save was barely
Not
appearing
according to
during the group stage, and I think that he's going to be locked in now.
I'm just letting you know. I'm ready for that game. Okay, we're going.
Oh, yeah.
We're going into the breach. All right, folks. It is now time for the playoffs. We have 4 teams remaining, and you couldn't ask for 4 better squads. EDG versus T1, Team Vitality versus G2. Day 6 of Masters Bangkok starts right now.
Vitality are the first squad in the playoffs. After falling at 5 global events before, it's gotta feel so good to qualify to the playoffs.
Going into the next stage, we don't care at all about the stakes or how important the games are. The opponents might be stronger, but every game here is tough.
We've had a lot of experience with them in the offseason. I think their whole roster has potential to take over any round, but when you look at my team, people say the same exact thing.
We don't care anything about what the enemy team thinks of us. We will just play our own game, and we'll keep getting stronger throughout the tournament.
Kicks shuts it down.
We're not going to respect them, but they're going to respect us.
Oh, he's got 2! Jonah making up for the mistakes!
If we play our own game and we do the things that we're good at, we're gonna beat anyone on any day.
일단 저희가 로스터를 변경하고 나서 결승전도 퍼시픽 결승전도 최초로 진출했었고 지금 마스터즈 국제대회에서도 플레이오프를 처음으로 진출했는데 저희가 이 기세를 힘입고 분위기를 잘 타서 저희가 지금 점점 더 잘해지고 있다고 생각하기 때문에
但是我觉得我们夺完冠以后，我们的心态跟韧性得到了质的提升。
이전의 T1과는 좀 다른 팀이기 때문에 멤버도 다르고 좀 쓰던 전략 같은 것도 다르다고 생각해서 지금의 T1을 상대하게 된다면 각오하시는 게 좋을 겁니다.
Who's the best team in Korea now? Come on!
我们现在应该是国内最好的5人组。 甚至是世界上吧，我没有觉得有哪一支队伍可以战胜全盛时期的 EDG， 迎接我们的全力一击吧。
And here we go as T1 makes their way out through the crowd here in Bangkok, ready to throw down against the world champions. A big opportunity for this Pacific squad to shock the world and be able to send the championship squad to the lower bracket. But the question is, do they have the ability to do so?
People rated T1 the bottom team in this tournament. Now they're here in the playoffs, but they're facing off against the world champ.
Oh boy, and look at that. Kong and EDG making their way out. And Kakuka, the energy in this venue, absolutely electric. Holy crap.
He cannot wait to face the rest of the team. He wanted to greet everybody on the stage. He's feeling it, he's on point, he's already warmed up and ready for the challenge.
And you saw that confidence in the last match from EDG. making it cleanly here to the playoffs. But there's a lot of questions in this series around map vetoes. Yeah, because both squads ban Abyss as their perma. And I think whichever team elects to do that is going to be put at a disadvantage in the veto and will allow their opponent to target ban.
I would love to see the Fracture, please. I would love to see the Fracture, probably the best map for T1 that we've seen so far in the tournament. I want to see Kankan on the Neon back again.
I want to, going to that Abyss point, I'm curious to see if they played a good old-fashioned game of chicken. Who's going to blink first? And that is really good. And it was T1 that blinked first, right out of the gate.
It makes a lot of sense because since EDG made it as the quote-unquote first seed coming into playoffs, they decided to be Team B. So you put T1 in the position of you ban first. And if you do not ban the Abyss, we've been changing all the compositions we've been playing the Euro. Are you sure you want to leave that open?
And the implication of that is that EDG gets to kick T1's best map out of the pool. I think the picks are a little interesting though. T1 heading into the split here. Last time we saw this one for EDG, they were playing a very unique Teo Breach comp, which we've seen from other teams, but with no Sentinel and with the Jet instead of the Raze. They're yet to lose on that one, but I wasn't super impressed with what we saw from T1 back in Pacific. They're yet to play this map here at Masters Bangkok, though.
Exactly, that is also very important. We've spoken about the changes. A team like DRX that, you know, stayed just in groups did change every composition. Maybe T1 has something prepared. And do not forget, that match was extremely evened out. It was an 18-16 overtime.
Remember, there was 2 days off since the group stage, even more for T1, and they have a new comp for us.
Dude.
Double duelist.
Dude, oh, this is good. I want to see what Izu could do in those backlines with the Yoru. That's going to be quite fascinating. But yeah, this is going to be good.
It's not new. They played it in the region. It's just that they swapped back into the chamber, but they want to revisit. They want to have a little bit more of what we had on Pearl the other day with Izu on this Euro. And it's been so effective for them playing the double duelist. Why would you steer away from that?
Most teams have been playing the Breach and the Teo with the Yoru. They elect for the Fade instead. But with Sound Denial ideas on the Seas, on the ult, there's interesting Yoru combos there. And I'm very excited to see if they have what it takes to take on the champs.
Well, folks, the stage is set. We're all ready to go. And let's send it over to your casters. It's my Pacific brothers from another mother. You got Achilles and Paperton on the call.
Thank you very much, GB. Yes, here we are. Paperton, you and I familiar with both of these teams. Very, very familiar. Last time we got to cast EDG, it was as they qualified forward into that grand finals. They went on to win a Champions last year. Right now, they're looking to qualify forward, stay in this upper bracket, get themselves into another final.
Absolutely, this is the team to beat right now. It feels like they are clicking in every phase of the game. You know, going back and doing some VOD review, there's a lot of dimension to EDG right now. They can come at you fast, and they will try to test you early sometimes, or they'll spread the map. But this is looking pretty similar to their last pistol on this against Team Liquid. A little bit of mid-pressure, try to lurk up towards A, try to get control of that rope position. But Izu already a bit ahead of it, and they're already reinforcing with the Fade as well. So we'll try to talk about this comp change a little bit for T1 as this goes on.
Actually spotted Izu out, but still takes the time to clear it. Ends up having to gate crash away. Still is going to be nearby there on the site. Sylvan on the peak. Tagged up a bit, down to 73. Swings back into even more fire. Now just 25 health remaining.
Timing there, gonna force Sylvan way back behind the screen. That was just some noise being created. T1 reading it pretty well. They've got Buzz leaning in towards A, although he's making a move towards the other side. Smoggy still trying to create as much distraction as he can in mid, but really, Izu's first contact doesn't go well.
Take it down, nobody. Drawing first blood here of the map, of the round of stacks. Similarly, falls to the wayside. Kong able to come away with the kill. A little bit of damage between the two players, but Kong finds another fishing Buzz out of the smoke. Sight now wide open for the taking, and Sylvan gets dropped. EDG looking for a flawless pistol, not gonna find it as Meteor. He's get a nice little lurk timing, but as he swings the corner, he will meet his demise. And EDG will take the opening round.
Yeah, this is something that I think might surprise some people with EDG, is they're very patient on this attacker side on split. Against Team Liquid, they're really happy to spread the map, take their time, try to isolate some of these fights, and they're so clean right now. Their accuracy is through the roof. Every single player on this squad is fragging out of control. And those ghosts paying dividends for EDG to start. T1 though, see if they can rebound there. A smile from Sylvan, so nobody too concerned about that round just yet. And I mean, I'm very curious about Meteor on the Viper, but that didn't go so good again for Izu.
Well, just trying to take some space here, maintain some control. It's wrested away from him. Orb. Handed over here to Kong Kong, 4-0. 2 charges away from those knives. Pushing forward for another, he will find it. Stax gets taken down, Buzz desperately wanting someone to push him into the smoke here, but like you said, EDG playing this patiently, and in fact just going fishing. And once again, getting rewarded. Meteor will be able to find one, stops it from another flawless, but EDG overall very cleanly will carry forward their weapons as they start things off 2-0 here on Split.
Yeah, and even though this is somewhat the way that EDG will play on this side, the other thing they like to do, if they're going to go for fast hits, a lot of times it's B. They'll go just into garage and cut down that backside lane to try to clear that while fighting from the ground into heaven. And maybe they send one lurker up, but that's neither here nor there. So we might be seeing a bit of a different look. But in general, they spread the map. They're willing to take their time. They're willing to find those fights and set themselves up in favorable situations. And patience pays off again for them. So let's see what T1 can respond with now. Full rifles in hand. It's the bonus for EDG. Tap there. Kong Kong wants those blades. Absolutely, he will pop those right away with that Spectre to back it up.
For the entry here, Izu taking down one, but just traded out here. Kong Kong just runs down Stax. Strafing around him with the Spectre in hand. Comes away with the kill, gets a weapon upgrade. T1 now very much on the back foot. Buzz tagged down to 12. The drone spotting out Meteor. Apparently a scent, but play off of this one. Chichu taking a bit of this damage, forced into the open. Buzz able to collect one. Smog Keller here on the corner, has nobody in behind. 2 more kills and Buzz will just have to drift away. Whisper on the wind as EDG converts this bonus, a 3-0 start on T1's pick of Split.
Yeah, and right now, this comp change isn't going so well for T1. Izu, the desk was highlighting him, a phenomenal Yoru. Yeah, they might catch him here, you're right.
He's wise to it. Smoggy going to be caught with a knife in hand. Buzz has managed to come away with another, but a minor consolation. This bonus conversion here for EDG absolutely stings for T1.
Yeah, they're winning in these opening duels, and like I was saying, Izu, yes, very good at Yoru typically. And it's not like he hasn't played it on this map, but you know, you can see some of the discomfort in him. He is able to win that opening duel this time, but it's immediately traded, and a good paranoia onto Stax forces him to fight up close and personal, and Kong Kong's just too fast for him. There you go, at least Buzz gets the consolation, but EDG looking really in control right now, being really patient behind this Viper utility.
Eagle Peak didn't spot anything, but this is all a bit of a ruse here as Sylvan tries to sell this, but EDG are not really biting. They do get forced away. Izu eats a copious amount of damage though. Down to 49. Tell EDG very suspicious about this corner.
They've been doing their homework. They're looking really well prepared, even with the agent comp change that T1 is bringing in today. Hasn't really fooled them too much.
Screen down.
They're just trying to figure out if there's going to be any lurks, any pushes. So far, though, T1 happy to play it a little bit more passive. See if they can gum up the works a bit. There's no information on the other side of the map, so EDG has to wait this out a little bit. Check sewers, check their spawn, make sure that nobody's coming through that way. Because that's definitely something a player like Meteor will do to you. You got to be aware.
Pushes for the tailwind in. Izu able to find one, but then gets full flash taken down by nobody. For one so far, but Meteor now dropping as he tries to swing out from heaven. The site gets busted open.
30 seconds left.
Realistically found here. Buzz just trying to disrespect the snakebite, walk over and find a timing. Cannot do so. He falls, and Stax will follow soon. With just one death, EDG move up 4-0 to start.
They're just so clean right now. Any kill that's found is immediately traded for EDG. They're just really on the ball, really on point, and this is what a championship team looks like. The communication, the coordination, the map awareness is all there for them right now. You're definitely going to be thinking about a timeout here as T1 because this is not going to plan, and you're getting beat up at the point of attack in particular. And then you're just kind of walking in one by one, giving EDG some of these duels, and they're happy to take them because they are way too good in the moment.
So very necessary timeout call here from the birthday boy, Coach Autumn.
That's right, it is Autumn's birthday.
Well, I think this is not quite the start to the series that he would have wanted in his birthday wishes, but that's why we see the timeout call. Try to rectify things, get it realigned and back on track. Saw a glimmer of it before the timeout screen come up. EDG contemplating bringing the operator now into round 5.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's going to be an important piece of the puzzle here for them to get their footing on this defensive side and really take over this half. They need to get EDG fired up. We saw what he could do on Pearl. We saw that tremendous 4K he had that started off with those 2 great op shots into a dimensional drift. Doesn't have the dimensional drift yet, but if he gets 1 shot off, he will have it. Kong does have the blades to back things up if he feels like it. You never know he's going to pull those out. He just sometimes just, it's on a whim. And it's very, very good, of course. 1 away from an Armageddon as well for nobody. So some important ults going to be coming into cycle potentially in this round. And an aggressive push out of A. See, they're ready with the breach utility. Simon is chilling. They're anticipating this. They're so ready for this push out, our EDG. They expected that to be a little bit more aggressive with the op, and they were ready to set up the trap, but so far T1 was just clearing the corner enough to plant EDG in a position.
Double stack in mid here. There's the vault line, and EDG cannot get out fast enough. Kong just far too swift. Operator on the floor. It's a little bit of spam damage to the smoke. Buzz now dead at ramp. Smoggy narrowly survives with 16 HP, and Kong now in deep past screens, has backup. Sylvan, it'll find 1, but instantly the trade is there. Nobody now. Back remaining. Around, Smoggy still holding his own. His stacks will fall. Meteor just gets picked off right here in main. The operator, the timeout. They find 0 value.
They're just getting beat. I mean, it's just a good fault line. And Kong's so swift to react again. It's the coordination, it's the communication that EDG brings. He's so fast to follow up off of that. There's no time to react for EDG. Tries to get out. And then again, you know, okay, Sylvan finds that kill. That's great. There's somebody there to trade right away. And T1, I think, needs to give up a little bit of space, play a bit more for retake. These early aggressive positions that they're taking are just getting destroyed. You need to change the pace. You need to change this map a little bit to get EDG off balance. Because right now they're walking the tightrope with ease.
Play this quiet, having to play this more patiently. 3 players here. Focus over to mid. Just steadily backing away, leaving Kong. Meantime, stealth drone out, try to just check around towards this B site. Reposition from Sylvan has to come through. This is the TP.
Gonna try to double stack that, but look at these salvos. Sylvan's gonna try to reposition. I like this.
Himself back into this corner once again. Time starting to tick away. 45 seconds remaining here in the round. EDG not liking what they've seen around mid, around B, so it looks like they can once again just rotate over towards that A site. EDG here on his lonesome. Try to slow them down on this approach. 30 seconds remaining, that rope should have been heard.
Left.
Relays there. Gonna back off. Tail went forward, Stack's gonna be spot. Drop down, and Kong still so snappy with it. Finds 1. Flashes up above around the top of the screen here. EDG. Wow. Fadeaway shot on Simon. Kong is still wreaking havoc. Needs to hit that one, but cannot. But however, arriving, takes down 1, doesn't realize that he's getting hit from behind. Sylvan now with everything to do, but he cannot stop this plan.
Extremely difficult for Sylvan. No guns available until he is able to clear this corner. Around the elbow, Chichu.
Ready for the swing out. Ready for the instant trade. Sylvan would have to just hit this shot. Pop forward, finds the first one. But did he see the jiggle? He did not. Doesn't have a gun, doesn't have a clue. It's a solid attempt, but Chichu will ensure that EDG continue the streak.
He's so good, man. He's just unbelievable this event. So clutch. Every time you need him to step up, it feels like Chichu's good for it. Kong is just flying around the map right now. It is just full-on W key for him. He is just running and gunning with that Phantom and knocking T1 players down. There is not much that they've been able to do That was one of their better rounds, and I appreciate the way that T1 played that. They gave up that extra space. They let EDG come towards the site before they tried to spring their trap. Here comes one of these B hits. Sylvan looking like he's going to be under a lot of pressure.
Again, forcing some space over towards mid, but Kong immediately fighting one at Meteor. Not realizing that he was not in the clear, gets taken down. That's just another devastating start. Round after round here, T1 finding no advantages.
Spike planted.
Given that you once again have that operator in play, it's gonna take a big opening here from Buzz to want to recommit back into this one.
I don't think they will. I'd just save at this point. I don't think there's any hope.
Seems like the call has been made. Question for Kong is, does he go on the hunt? The answer will be no. EDG look to just play this out flawlessly and will be able to do so. 7-0 on the attacking side here on Split. The blows keep coming, and T1, they are not keeping themselves on their feet.
Oh, this is absolutely brutal for T1. No other way to cut it. And championship quality EDG is showing up. I mean, we've already seen a couple 13-0s from them this year. Hasn't been on this map. So far, they are completely in cruise control. There's going to be a bunch of ults for T1 in the next round there. Oh, it went down into the bottom underneath the rope. And clipped across it, yeah. Meteor thought he had escaped it, but it just had a little bit of extra oomph down in the bottom there and caught him.
Well, you see the wide shot. That can only mean one thing. No, not a tech pause. Lauren's not here right now, but it's another timeout call.
Yep, has to be.
7-0. T1 throwing everything now at this. No more interaction going to be allowed unless EDG decide to use their own timeouts. But right now, why the hell would they?
I mean, the first kills have to be through the roof for EDG right now. I mean, there's been a few where T1 got the first kill and then was immediately traded. I think it was one, and then it was just immediately traded. I mean, there is just nothing that they can get going. EDG is so crisp, so fast, so furious.
The things the analyst was talking about, if you can't find that round win, that rallying point, how are you supposed to bring the energy up? How can Buzz be that hype guy?
Right.
How can he get the ball rolling for the rest of the team? EDG right now are just making it absolutely impossible. T1 come into this though, another operator. As 4 ultimates are available. Given the way that these rounds have begun, the question, can T1 get to a point in the round state they can actually utilize them?
Right. I mean, it's so tricky. They're being so smart with their movement, avoiding this op. It's like nobody knows exactly what's going to happen after these timeouts. The coaching staff has done such a good job preparing EDG, even with the comp changes, the tendencies that T1 has been playing with. There goes that Blade Storm.
Lives are popped up and over the top. There's the flash. The blind goes through. Kong even immense amount of damage, but still able to stick the landing. Swaps to the shorty. Stax gets obliterated. Buzz trade at the same time there at tower. Showstopper not getting
Spike planted.
any eliminations. And once again for T1 in this position. How do you try to get out? Simon tucked to the corner, does get hit by that paranoia. Izu's able to find one.
Still have the Rolling Thunder though.
Yeah, they're just fully entrenched and ready to send this. I'm gonna be taken down. Looks like that will convince him to go ahead and send the Rolling Thunder. Minor consolation, but Simon reads it absolutely gorgeously. Swoops in, finds it up once again. Lost round once again. Lost. EDG are absolutely running away with this.
And the util combos here, so good. To just isolate Stax. It gave him everything there. The fault line, the paranoia, and Stax is just blind and stunned. What can you do? Kong's coming up and over you, forget it. He's not gonna give you those opportunities. They looked like maybe they'd found a way in, found an op pick, found a kill, but with that Rolling Thunder in the back pocket, it's always gonna be in your mind. When is that gonna come out? When are they gonna press that advantage? couple Spectres being bought here. So desperate, a nice opening pick for Izu though. Gets out cleanly.
Cutting through. Needed an early kill. Still though, only 2 Spectres behind. 4T1, so firepower is still fairly weak, but swing onto the corner. Izu's gonna be good for a second. Just be traded out. Smoggy able to find 1 Meteor. Tucked away there in the corner. At this range, just doesn't have a hope in hell. Smoke gonna be dissipating here in heaven. Snakebite coming down to try to slow up Buzz. Smoggy is just ripping people to shreds. Well, all of this chaos is happening in heaven. Smoggy has sent T1 to hell. 9-0 now. The pain continues.
This is the round for T1. It's like, okay, we can do it this time, but I'm a bit confused why Izu doesn't pop his ultimate here. After he gets 2 kills, I think it's totally worth it to go for the Dimensional Drift, try to get the info on where the rest of the players are, and set up for that. And then Meteor drops down, he's stuck in a corner, tries to fight things out, has no help.
The help has a Spectre.
Yeah. And now Kong's got an op.
Scoops it up, says thank you very much. Just afford to buy one. They have plenty of cash. There's 0 hope for T1 to try to drain the coffers. Maybe 0 hope for them to get a single round win right now in this half. Kong hits another incredible shot. 2-player advantage. Spike coming into play. A tap and a reposition, just trying to see what reaction they can get out of T1. EDG realizing, oh, there's still over a minute remaining on the clock.
Yeah, they've got all the time in the world.
TP into sight. Sylvan flashed up. Simon keeps him at bay. Off shot gonna be going wide. Smoggy able to find 1. Buzz, however, traded out. Sylvan doing his damnedest. That's a nice headshot, but Simon will go ahead and cut him down to size 10-0. There's not been a 13-0 on the global stage since Gambit versus Team Secret at 2021 Champions, where the VCT really began. Right now, we might be witnessing new history in the making.
I mean, it's just incredible what they're able to do. And because they're able to take that site so early, they have a ton of time to just wait, and they know what the economy is like for T1. It's bad, and they can drag an extra, gun, an extra half shield out of them by just being patient. They're so good. You just have to be in awe of what this EDG team is capable of at their best. They can destroy anyone. They weren't kidding in their pre-show video.
Hard to disagree. Crossfire going to be broken up a bit. Stax finally gets himself on the board with an elimination here. Good timing on the rope. Meteor pushing forward, finding Chichu. Player advantage now. Bound for T1 for the first time in this map. Tap of the plant, nobody. Quick peek over towards ramp, but still audioless, caught off guard. Stax will be able to find him. Now it all comes down to Simon. Was a miracle worker for them in the past when they made their run to become champions, and he needs to do it again. And he gets that first step, but Stax, maybe starting to come alive, is able to find the round here for his squad. And T1, they will not join the records there of Team Secret at global events. They will not go down without a fight. They get 1 round win so far in the half.
Yeah, and I like this a lot from T1. Give up that little bit of extra space and then set up the trap and spring it into action. A good paranoia from Sylvan connects, and then they know that they have Chichu stuck right by the rope. They're able to punish him, play a little back and forth by the box, use that Viper toxic screen as well that they brought in for this match today. Finally getting some value out of it. You're able to keep most of your guns. Sylvan has to go for a Guardian and the regen shield. You have a Viper's Pit for Meteor. Curious to see what they want to do with that, but you do have the pit as well for EDG, so if they can get into that post plant with Chichu alive, make it all the more difficult. Meteor's going to just send him in and they're going to challenge it.
Yep, push forward.
Oh my God.
Meteor, dead. Hits the floor. It's Kong. Just immediately removes
He's fearless.
That pit from the equation.
Absolutely fearless. You gotta love that.
He's fearless, he's bold, and he's certainly damn on point right now. Nothing gonna be spotted there from the stealth drone. There's the timing, Sylvan having to tuck back away. The paranoia does slow the tide here for the moment. He and Buzz getting completely and utterly surrounded. Nice little transfer on the Guardian. Sylvan able to find two. Chichu gonna be taken out at the same time as Stax. Arrives in heaven. Kanghang, however, still snappy with it. Finds the first, cannot find the second. And now it's down to nobody. The Prowler from heaven knows the location of one, finds the other. But once again, Stax there to bail them out in the round. 10-2, however, EDG so far out in front.
It's hard to imagine that T1 can come back from this. This EDG squad came to play, 2 days off, no problem at all.
Stax and Buzz, they have done it before. That series versus Billy, but I don't know, something different about this one here today. We'll see what happens when we come back from the break.
Had it with your old phone? We've got you. At Verizon, trade in any old phone for iPhone 16 Pro on us, on any plan. And get iPad and Apple Watch Series 10, all three on us. That's up to $2,000 in value, only on Verizon.
Red Bull gives you wings.
We are back and I'm about to go into the second half. This opening map of Split. And as you can see from the scoreline, it has not been going T1's way. EDG dictating pretty much every single moment of this half so far. T1, a monstrous run back needed, as this is their map pick. And Bind is on the horizon. While they have favored themselves on that map in the past, it has not been going their way.
No, this is a must-win pistol. There's no other way to cut it. And this is where that double duelist comp needs to shine. Where you need to get Izu and Buzz really fired up, really start kicking indoors, just like we saw with Kanghang on the other side of the map. 16 kills so far for Kanghang. I believe 7 deaths. He has been absolutely electric. The man just continues to impress. No matter the game, no matter the stage. Izu able to find a little bit of space. No challenge, just a fault line to stall. It's Kanghang. Timing.
Sylvan pops, goes for the push. Sylvan covering fire, able to find one, but Simon guns down 2 here on the site. Sylvan swooping out onto the rafters. Just managed to trade it back, trade it up. Player advantage down here for the side of T1. Catching a straight headshot, nobody up from Garage. Gets rid of Stax. It looks so good for a brief little moment. And then it all falls to pieces. Another pistol to EDG. As they now are up by 9 rounds.
They're just better. That's all there is to it right now. They're hitting crazy good shots. They're reading the map. They're reading the timings. You know, Meteor here trying to adjust, and Chichu able to find that narrow angle. Expects the push from Sylvan. So ready for it. And they're coming at you from different angles. They're winning the shots. They're hitting their heads. Those ghosts are so potent in their hands. And now you gotta buy here. As T1, you have to. You have no choice. So it's gonna be a mix of different guns.
Oh,
hodgepodge. Yeah, the mishmash, the hodgepodge, the bits and bobs. Everything in the kitchen sink for T1 in this round.
Paranoia, flash, and Buzz on the entry. Judge in hand narrowly gets that elimination. Managed to hold on to his life here for a little bit longer, but Meteor on that flank. Trying to stave off the wraparound. It's being picked apart. Aftershock at the ready. Don't clear any angles here for them. Sylvan just trying to hold things here at the drop. And KongKong swings the corner, finds one. And in the blink of an eye, all of Stax' team has dropped around him. Push onto the corner, classic in hand. KongKong will not allow for the force buy to find purchase. EDG get themselves up to map point.
Just the coordination again and the timing. Been hammering at this map for a reason on the broadcast because they are so good at it. Okay, a good entry here. It looks like there might be an opportunity, but look how clean he is with that stinger. And then they're all coming out of those smokes together. They're all pushing these angles together. And then they swing from different angles to just eliminate Stax. And frustration from the IGL of T1, for sure. Anybody would be frustrated here. You want to just get a few more rounds underneath your belt here as T1. See if you can get that blood flowing. See if you can get that aim under control. Because EDG is just demolishing you. Period. End of story.
One suppressed.
I feel like at this point, it's less about can we get ourselves back into this map here? Can we make a run back and take this to overtime? It has to be. Can we get ourselves online for that second map of bind?
Exactly.
Nobody looking for a timing, drifts across. Some self-disguise for the moment. How far does he pursue? Talon trying to flush him out into the open. Meteor, however, able to win out the fight. Good information on the two players still playing here at lobby. Nobody pushing up into the smoke. Meteor catches a good timing, catches a kill. Fight starting to take away, but Chichu, ever present, finds one.
Shadows traveling.
There's still going to be one lingering around main. Can they flush open the site? Looks like the answer's going to be no. Chichu, unless he can do something like that, hits the floor and nearly gets himself an ace to bring this to a conclusion. The time not on their side this round. Unwinnable for EDG. They cannot bring it to an end. But my God, Chichu nearly closes it out.
He has just been incredible this tournament. A lot of people would say best player at the event. That right there is why, folks. This is destruction. Chichu, nasty, nasty transfers. Oh me, oh my.
Absolutely robotic in the aim. And yeah, for nobody on the opposite side of the stage, I think it's going to be a pretty easy round to shrug off. You still have 9 chances to close this out before you even have to worry about overtime.
Oh, look at this. Trying to set up a trap play.
Izu kind of in front of this, but nobody still is able to just peek in, gets the kill, and they just get out scot-free.
One of those iterations of the Breach Teho combo that you're going to see a lot on this map.
KongKong with the headshot. Tailwinds forward. He wants a fight. He wants to scrap, but there's no one there.
And why not?
Take the beating.
Why not? Love it.
Slow and steady back away, Chichu. On the re-peek. Knocked down to 3 HP. Tries to slow up the approach. KongKong, however, getting in behind, but timing a little bit off for him. Draws back over to the Sheriff. Buzz, stunned up. Flushed out into the open. Into KongKong's welcoming arms. And it is not on a buy round that EDG will bring this to a conclusion. They look to do it with one hero Bulldog and some Sheriffs. Sylvan swings the corner, is able to find one. Needs 3 more of those, but weapons have been recovered.
Spike planted.
The firepower in the hands of EDG. Getting stronger and stronger, Sylvan. Just rejoining the squad, needing to ace clutch to keep them in the map. Avoids the fault line, swings back, finds one! Snaps on a Smoggy! And Sylvan will bail them out!
That is absolutely outrageous from Sylvan. He has come back off the bench and been a lightning rod for T1. He has had some really good maps, and this is his best moment yet. An ace at the international level for Sylvan. Insanely well played there. The timings able to work and isolate one player after another. The ult there. EDG has to spread the map. They're not sure if he's gone to the other side. They're not sure if he's gone B. He sticks A and he's able to catch Kong Kong out. Looks like that was map done. Viper's Pit gonna be used in mid here. No challenge just yet from T1. They don't have a jet to just dash in there with knives and knock the Viper out.
Oh, Meteor. They continue on this chase.
Oh, they backed up.
Managed to successfully tuck out.
Stack's gonna read this push though from Kong Kong.
That is the question for now. Slowly creeping forward. Kong Kong, however, just a little bit more aware, a little bit faster. That's the spike now. Dropping the back alleys of Split. Izu able to find one. Simon going to be taken down. Flash out. Kong Kong desperately trying to play elusively, but Sylvan on the pinch is able to find the kill. A 3v3 now is nobody. Backing away. The rotation starting to come through. Chichu having to abandon the pit. One now scratching their heads. Shoulder might have been spotted. Wanted to go for the jiggle, but Gunfire will confirm presence.
And Salvo's in a snake bite here.
Push out of the smoke, they double face it. Izu able to find one, nobody gonna be taken down.
30 seconds left.
Really nice there. An attempted delay from Chichu, but not much he can do there.
Trying to slow it up, but now it's getting out of their hands here.
Poison orb emitting.
Double wrap around down the ramp here in towards main. Everyone from T1 situated on the site. Bring out Izu. Spotted out, flashes up over the top. Chichu, however, able to find one. Sylvan gonna be taken down. This is a 1v1. It seems like Smoggy knows exactly where Izu is TP2. You read that he's already pushed up into the site, taps the spike, swings out of the smoke. And they're missing each other somehow, some way. Smoggy's starting to get a read on it. Oh, he bounces in.
Oh.
Does he have the time? I don't think he does. That spike is erupting. And this map is continuing. 12-5, T1. 7 rounds in a row.
Oh boy. Still a massive hill to climb for T1. And this is such a cute little play there to set up that distraction. Use the salvos to clear Meteor out of sewers so Kong Kong can push towards spawn. And then they're able to set up that crossfire at the sewer exit. T1 does a nice job. Izu has a good flash to bail them out. Quick reactions from Sylvan to wrap back through to go towards that drop spike from Stax. Stax's body. Find that kill. And look, these last couple of rounds may have been all that T1 really needed to get back into this series. Sometimes it just takes a couple, that big ace, that big moment that gets the blood pumping. I mean, we'll see. I don't know. It's hard to imagine with the way that EDG looks today that anybody in this tournament's beating them, but you never know.
They've at least gotten a minor victory and drawing out a timeout. First one here from EDG. Allowing for some further conversation from the T1 coaching staff as well. 3 rounds in a row so far. Still not even at that halfway mark to running this back.
Yeah, you got a lot of ults to toy around with here as T1. You do have the Rolling Thunder for EDG. But the guns are going to be a little bit scrappy on both sides. So obviously there were some forces along the way for T1. So they've got a couple Guardians. Seen some impact plays from the Guardians from both sides. It's going to be Kong Kong with that Guardian himself. It's a scary proposition there for T1, but they're able to dodge the damage.
Trying to flush him back, but now the double push. You're into it, triple rather, as Meteor's able to find one. Smoggy on the peak. Sheriff shot to the skull of Meteor. Does shut him down, but Showstopper and a nice shot from Stax. Continue to open up the round. Kong Kong now the last one standing. 1v4. Spike not brought forward. As Kong Kong peeks into the site, it will be his last. 12-6.
It feels like T1 now starting to understand some of this push and pull that EDG is trying to create on the map. You called it out perfectly, man. They use these salvos to force them over to Ramen to try to push them into Kong push out with the Guardian towards mid, and their reaction is to send a Dimensional Drift, get the information early, so they're way more prepared for this. Buzz can be ready with the Showstopper. They can be holding that angle around the corner. Things like this, T1 needs a lot more of, but it's a good thing that they're starting to finally feel themselves a little bit. You only had to use 2 ults there. Still have a few more. You still have the Nightfall, you still have a Viper's Pit for Meteor. Hasn't looked too comfortable on the Viper just yet, but you never know with Meteor. Can turn it out at any time. Paranoia, clearing back sight. Connected at least on Simon.
Line to try to slow things up. Buzz in ahead of that Nightfall. He's managed to find one, get traded back. Kong coming out, finding one, but quickly getting traded. Immediately brought back to parity. 3v3s, Chichu up and over the top of the box. Interrupts the plant, puts stacks down. To low HP numbers.
Spike planted.
Sylvan in this corner, needing to win out this critical fight. The salvos start to fly. Stacks able to find one. Sylvan going to be taken down. Stacks abandoned here at 18 HP. In a 1v2. Snappy with both of them. The 4K Red Bull clutch. T1. Where are they pulling out these hero moments from?
I can't believe it. I thought this is done. I thought this is map.
Face your fear.
Chichu again looked like he was just gonna knock him out of the park. Kong there with a great timing to slide down. He catches them with util in hand. There's no return fire. But still, they're able to finally find the trade. And then this looks like it's GG go next. Nope. Let's go, boys. Stacks. Huge one. Now you're getting Buzz into it. Now you're getting that hype. Now you're getting that energy. Still 5 to go before you even get to overtime. So let's see what T1 can do. Let's see how long they can keep this going.
Once again, kick them back here economically, but EDG has still had some very close scraps in these thrifty attempts. A Rolling Thunder also online. Stealth drone sent, nobody to check out towards me, but Chichu continues to be the final boss. By 3, they come by 3, they fall. Chichu destroys them all.
He is absolutely just unbelievable. What a tremendous player. Now he's going to throw the pit into mid. Meteor's going to try his own pit, but Simon right there to punish if he oversteps. There he goes.
The heroics have a limit. It is not an infinite stock. T1 do well to get themselves to 7 after a flat opening half, but EDG, the win for them on this map was inevitable. 13-7. They take away T1's map pick in dominant fashion. T1 now need to fight through Bind.
And Bind has been a bit of a struggle for them. They have not really looked comfortable on that map.
What an insane run back there from T1.
And I'ma do it again. Watch me win, then watch me do it again.